This video is sponsored by Manscaped. Okay, I know my policy is to not make videos for teams when they're actually playing games on the day we're uploading the video, but this piece of news, or not even news, this is not a news piece, no, there's no news, nothing happened. This discussion is so big that I think it's appropriate to go out there and start talking about it, let's say 4 hours-ish before Jesperi Kotkaniemi makes his return to Montreal. And besides, we're not actually talking anything about that game in particular today. It's going to be happening at 4 p.m. PDT here. So we're talking about other stuff instead. This is other Montreal Canadiens food for thought, I guess you could say, when it comes to Marc Bergevin. Because yes, we did hear yesterday Bergevin and his impromptu press conference that he made just so he could go out there and address the team's very poor start to the NHL season. They are 0-4-0. Will it be 0-5-0 after Kotkaniemi makes his way through town? Find out later today when the Canadiens take on their demons. But when it comes to Marc Bergevin, the press conference actually brought up a few interesting perspectives that he was very adamant in making clear. He wants to come back to Montreal, even though his contract is expiring. He said that. He doesn't feel like he needs to make a trade. He said that. He believes in the group and he knows that this is a rough start, but there are better things in store. He didn't say that verbatim, but that's pretty much the message he was trying to send out there to the media. But money talks, you know? Everybody goes out there and says, oh, I'd love to stay with this team, or I'd love to come back for another year. How many times have we heard that from different GMs and players and all that, only for it to not happen? It happens a lot. So when it comes to the Canadiens General Manager of the now, this is what Montreal Gazette wrote about in their recent piece. This is Stu Cowan giving his opinion over here on the quotes. Bergevin said that in a perfect world, he would be still here at Montreal and he'd still be the GM and all that. Of course, though, this is not a perfect world, and Bergevin is in the final year of his contract. Bergevin's answer certainly makes it look like money and/or term is the issue in his talks with team owner and president Jeff Molson about a new contract. It also makes it look like he won't be back in Montreal next year. Now, furthermore, we had ourselves what was this article in the New York Post by Larry Brooks, talking about the New Jersey Devils and Jack Hughes and how he is emerging as an option for Team USA at the Olympics. Now, this is a very classic Larry Brooks article. Sure, it talks about Hughes in the title, but it isn't just Hughes that they discuss in this piece. They talk about the Rangers, they talk about Ryan Strome and Morgan Barron, and then they say this about Marc Bergevin, oddly enough. Whispered into our ears by a savvy individual with keen insight into the dynamics of the league, and that description eliminates scads of suspects. No? We've been advised not to discount the possibility that Marc Bergevin, entering the final year of his contract as GM in Montreal, just might end up in Los Angeles next year working with Kings president Luc Robitaille. Now, that is no insignificant piece of conversation over there. Marc Bergevin in the comments yesterday indicating that, hey, in a perfect world, I would love to stay as a GM of the Canadiens, but obviously the fact that you're bringing up that in a perfect world you would do that makes the implication that this world that we're living in is not perfect and therefore you would not be likely to come back. I think that's a pretty easy to obtain conclusion, but hearing now that LA might be the team that takes up Bergevin next, it is kind of interesting, just to say the least, you know? Like, obviously there isn't any evidence or whatever, it's just one article saying that, hey, somebody in the league is telling us that this might be going down. And, you know, it makes me really start to wonder, what exactly would that look like? How would that feel like? And what exactly would the rationale be for a decision like that? Let's talk about that a bit after our sponsor for today's video. Guess what, fellas? The boys are buzzing because hockey is back. Want to know what else is buzzing? The Lawnmower 4.0 from our friends at Manscaped. They're the global leaders in male grooming, trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Don't get chirped this year for having a Jumbo Joe bush below the waist. Join the Manscaped movement for all of your hairiest grooming needs. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code LEGOROCKS at manscaped.com. This 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The waterproof trimmer has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on-off switch with a travel lock, and a 4,000K LED spotlight. Grab yourself a Lawnmower 4.0 alongside of the Performance Package 4.0, which includes the Weed Whacker, the Nose Hair Trimmer, formulations, and 2 free gifts. It's the perfect package to help you put the D back in your defense. Don't take a penalty below the waist. Playoff beards are meant for your face and not your pants. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code LEGOROCKS at manscaped.com. That is 20% off and free shipping with LEGO Rocks. For Marc Bergevin, it's a lot easier to see why there isn't a contract extension in Montreal just yet. Firstly, because this isn't a perfect world. And secondly, Marc Bergevin, as we noted from the Elliot Friedman quotes that he said, I believe it was on the Jeff Merrick show earlier last week, it's a tough job being the GM of the Montreal Canadiens, and especially doing this for so long, like Bergevin has. It's been, 7 years of being the GM of the Habs at this point, and with all the playoff failures and the draft pick development failures and the one Stanley Cup final run reinvigorating Bergevin's time in Montreal, the fact is, you're managing a hockey team with one of the most passionate and, I'm just going to say it, crazy fan bases out there in the entire NHL. And he's at a position now where, sure, it's going to take a certain amount of money to keep him here and do his thing, but what is the alternative? What is the alternative if he goes over to another NHL team that is not Montreal, like LA, for example, where the fans are not as crazy as they are in Quebec? Not to disrespect the LA fans, it's just, for LA, you have so many different versions of entertainment in that industry that one LA Kings hockey team does not take over the market and the percentage of the population as the Montreal Canadiens do in Quebec. Sure, Montreal FC is a thing, but come on. Montreal Canadiens, it's the Canadiens, it's the Habs. These guys dominate the talk. For the Kings, they have passionate fans, but it's not as, cutthroat, make a mistake and all of a sudden you're crucified publicly as it is in Montreal, I would imagine, in LA. And, obviously everybody's going to make the joke, oh, Bergevin's going to go to LA because he really likes Philippe Danault and he wants to go back to a team where Danault is king. And, oh, I didn't even realize I did that. Danault is a king. He is king, yes. I'm going to keep on smiling about that, pretending that I'm smart. But either way, I don't really know what other connection there would be, aside from, okay, Luc Robitaille, maybe there's a connection there, Marc Bergevin, whatever, but this is all just speculation off of the behalf of the New York Post over here, or at least they're saying it is because it's off of one source that they have that apparently knows the league. But either way, it is something to keep in the back of your minds, I guess, as we head over towards the rest of the season. I know it's only been 4 games, but those 4 games have been pretty bad, and we're kind of seeing the effects of what a poor-performing Montreal Canadiens start looks like in the eyes of the media, in the eyes of the fans, and how the players, the management, etc., the coaching staff especially, are getting treated because of it. But when it comes to potential replacements, okay, Bergevin is not back next season. Let's say he does not re-sign, and all of a sudden, the GM spot for the Habs is open. Here's an article from the Toronto Sun from Michael Trakos. Let's wait at least another week before the Habs fans replace GM Marc Bergevin with Patrick Roy. Huh? Are you kidding me? What in the world? Okay, this is why I'm reading this article right here. According to La Voix de l'Est, owner Jeff Molson has tabbed Patrick Roy as a potential replacement, having already met with the Hall of Fame goaltender several times, reportedly speaking. So yeah, we already have rumors as to who the next guy in charge could be, and it's certainly a name that people will be familiar with. Everybody knows Patrick Roy, the story, the trade, Montreal Stanley Cups, Colorado Stanley Cups, Nordiques fan growing up, etc., and seeing the Colorado Avalanche coaching tenure that Patrick Roy had that was a lot more entertaining than it was good, in my opinion, makes things a lot more interesting when you peg Patrick freaking Roy as a potential GM replacement for Marc Bergevin. You thought that Bergevin was ambitious and very liberal with the trades that he would make. Okay, we're going to go out there, we need somebody, boom, we got it. Sorry, bottom 6 steps forward, you just got traded. Draft picks, okay, yeah, we need those. We need to get more of those so we can use them for other trades in the future. You thought Bergevin was very active on the trade market. This is just me speculating, but if it's Patrick Roy instead, This guy is fearless. We all kind of know who Patrick Roy is and the personality, the temper, and the passion he has for the game. But Patrick Roy as a GM, oh boy, I'm not sure. That's just me, personally. I know people love Patrick Roy, one of the best goaltenders to ever play the game, if not, like, the best. But I'm gonna be real, I kind of get this sort of feeling where it's like, yeah, if you give Patrick Roy the keys to the car, the rights to go out there and make whatever trades that he wants, like, it's opening Pandora's box in a way. It would certainly be different, I would feel, but just based off of who Patrick Roy is and the reputation he has, I would not be surprised if it's a very big shift from Marc Bergevin should he be the next GM of the Canadiens. But either way, that's kind of my thoughts about it. Obviously, I know some people would absolutely love it. I know opinions will be varied greatly, so let me know in the comments, what do you think about the idea of Patrick Roy being the next GM of the Habs? Do you like it? Do you not? Would you trust this guy to make your trades, or would you rather have him elsewhere in the organization? I'm not too sure. Let me know in the comments what your opinions are. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.